I received two 12-inch vinyl records in the mail from the UK this week, both brand new, both shipped over in a pristine package, yet when they arrived, one was damaged and one was not. How did this happen? And how could you keep this from happening with the records you send out? Hey, welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Dave. This is Quarter Flips. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I have been buying records through the mail for over 35 years, and I've been shipping records in the mail for almost that long. The first records I started to get, I was in high school, and almost immediately upon receiving records in the mail, I started to notice the different ways that vinyl records can get damaged in shipping. And with this last couple records that I got this week, I saw the same thing happen. It's been going on for years and years. People ship records. There's one thing that people rarely take into account. Now, everybody takes into account, crush damage from the corners of the packaging, or not having the package be so flimsy that it can be bent and the record can be damaged that way. But what I'm talking about is something entirely different. So let's get to the records and I will explain what that is. Here are the records. Press Club. The band is called Press Club. I am very excited about this band and you should listen to them. My buddy Brett from the band Ghostmarket turned me on to these guys a while back. I had not heard anything about them. Immediately checked out the stuff he was putting up. Fell completely in love. Their song Separate Houses is amazing. Their cover of the song Kids by the band Pup is my favorite song of the pandemic. I've watched this video maybe 100 times. It's so good. I started looking into them and trying to figure out what their deal was. They've got two full-length albums out, released only in Australia, where they're from, and the UK. So I figured I was not probably going to be able to get a hold of these. I figured somebody will release them in the US eventually, but nobody has. Hey, labels, get on this. This is good stuff. So someone is going to jump on this. I expect this band to get a lot bigger. Okay, here's the thing though. This one is in shrink wrap and it's in brand new, perfect condition. This one is not in shrink wrap, but it is brand new. It was taken out of the shrink wrap so that it could be hand numbered out of 400, which is really cool. And I think that's awesome. And so that this OB strip could be placed around it. Talking about the label's 15 years and giving information on what this is. That's really nice. But the problem with that is when you remove the shrink wrap from a record so that you can do this, you make it so that the record can move around inside the cover. I don't know if you can hear that. This one, still in the shrink wrap. Very little movement. Actually, there's more movement than I expected. But usually, we use this Rocky Votolato sealed record as an example. This is the Brag and Cuss from Rocky Votolato, also somebody who you should know about, although at least a quarter of the people that follow this channel are friends or friends of friends, and I know you all know who this is. And if you don't, get on it. Okay, so this record doesn't move at all in there. Usually when records are shrink wrapped and they're brand new, the vinyl inside will not move around that much. But if you take the vinyl off, everything is gonna just there's not as much pressure. It's not that it's vacuum sealed. I don't think that's the case because Rocky and I have actually been packing up the Kickstarter rewards from his latest Kickstarter for his new record. And one of the things with those records is we had to peel the shrink wrap so he could sign every record that he's sending out. And even though we peeled them, they are all still solid in the package. They don't move around. I was worried about that because I didn't want to have to do extra work to keep these records safe in shipping, although we would have if we had to. So the deal is this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, but I'll show it up close. The record has broken through. This is what they call a breakthrough on a record at the top, just a little bit. It's just a little bit of a crack, but it is damage. This is a damaged record. This is certainly not even what you would call near mint anymore. At least not what I would, even though this record's probably never been listened to. Cover-wise, that's a breakthrough at the top. That's VG plus now. If I were selling this in this condition, I'd call it VG plus, and then I would explain on Discogs or wherever that it has the beginning of a breakthrough, and that's just an issue from shipping. And I've had this happen so many times over the years. People just don't think of it. Once I was trying to make a deal with a guy for records by a band called Stay Gold, and he had released them, and they were not shrink wrapped. And I bought some from him, and every record that came out of the box that I got, they were all horribly damaged in this way. Breakthroughs all over the place. And I said, hey, I want to buy more, but I need you to remove the vinyl from the covers. And he said, no, I won't do it. It's too much work. So I never did buy any more of those. Okay. Inside here, we've got this printed inner that the label has probably removed the sleeve that the records came with originally and put this printed inner on it, which is fine. The printed inner is not broken through anywhere, so it's still in good condition, but it's open at the top, and the top is where the damage happened. So basically, this little buzzsaw of vinyl record, just from the vibration of shipping and that package moving around, just kept moving in there and hitting the spine and breaking through. All right, let's take a look at the vinyl. Yeah, that's really good. Late Teens is the name of this record. Can't wait to put this thing on the turntable. So how do you keep this from happening? Let's talk about that. I'm not even going to put this Obi strip around this thing again. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Let's put it back here. Let's put this other completely undamaged Press Club record, because it's still in the shrink wrap, back here. So if you, basically what I'm saying is, right off the bat, if your record is brand new and still sealed and you're going to ship it, you should be good. Maybe give it a shake to see if the record's moving around very much, but it should be in good shape. But what if you're selling a used record or a brand new record that didn't have shrink wrap on it, and you want to make sure it's going to get to wherever you're sending it safely? What do? First, before I get to that, let me show you an example of a record with bad breakthroughs. This is a band called Last Option, a record called Burning, and this is what we call breakthroughs on all edges. It has a spine breakthrough that's very bad, it has a top breakthrough that's very bad, and it has a bottom breakthrough that's very bad. And when you pull the sleeve out, this is just a printed lyric sheet. It has one of your traditional white dust sleeves, but the dust sleeve is broken through on every edge as well. The bottom is harder to see, but it is there. Okay, so essentially, this thing just went through whatever kind of travel this thing went through, just buzzing, hitting the edge until it damaged the record. And so I do not get a solid quality copy of this pretty cool record that nobody knows about. But you see, it's a real problem. If your record isn't broken through like this and someone buys it and you send it to them and it breaks through like that, they are not getting what they ordered. So how do you fix it? Here's how you fix it. You're going to need some stuff. The first thing you're going to need if you're dealing with vinyl records at all are vinyl outer sleeves. These plastic sleeves that go on the outside of records. And when I'm shipping a record, I use two. And let me explain how that works. So here we have an LP from a band called Sleeper. All right, Time and Tide LP, awesome record. Not very many people have it. Let's say I sell this record for some reason. Okay, now, no breakthroughs on this thing. It's in decent condition. I'm going to put this up as probably VG+. The vinyl I know is in good condition. It does have a printed inner, and there's no breakthroughs in the printed inner. It's in good shape. We want this whole thing to get there in this condition. So I'm going to need a dust sleeve. One of these, just a generic dust sleeve. If you're selling vinyl, you should have these around. You should have 12-inch size and 7-inch size. You should also have 7-inch vinyl sleeves too. And we'll take the vinyl out of the printed inner very carefully. All right. Perfect. Put it in the generic dust sleeve. Okay, printed inner can go back inside the cover. Yeah, it's gonna move around. Paper on paper isn't gonna do anything. It's not gonna break through the cardboard. It's not going to damage anything. It's fine. That's fine. So you take your outer sleeve and you take your cover and you put it in there with the opening at the top. Then you take your dust sleeve with your vinyl and you put it front or back. It doesn't matter. You just put it in there, probably in the back so you can see the front. You know exactly what it is you're sending if you're doing this with a number of them. And then me, because I'm big on the overkill of this sort of thing, I always take another outer sleeve and put it the opposite direction so that nothing can come out. So that in shipping, even if the record breaks through the generic sleeve, it's not going to then just go to the edge of the box. You're going to at least have the plastic it has to contend with. So now you have a record here packed up. Nothing can come out of it. You can put this in a mailer. Get yourself one of these good mailers. Do I even have one around? This one's got a record packed up in it, but these are good mailers that have a lot of extra space. You put them in there and keep it from moving around. But even if that vinyl shifts and gets that whole buzzsaw thing going, it is not going to cut through. It's not going to hurt anything. This right here will save you so much time with returns and headaches and bad reviews and bad feedback from buyers on Discogs where they're very, very picky about condition. This is peace of mind for me. When I send a record like this, I know that something extraordinary is going to happen for that record to get damaged in one of these, common ways. I know I'm going to package it so there'll be crush protection, and now I know that the record itself can't act against me and damage itself from the vibration. That's basically it. Just think of these things as little buzzsaws, man. Just little. If you were shipping a saw blade with the sharp teeth through the mail, and it was in its package, like with a sealed plastic, you would feel pretty good about putting that in a flat box and putting it in the mail. But if it was just loose, you'd be worried about that thing because you'd think it could cut right through the package. Well, that's what I'm saying about the vinyl. So that's my tip. Record outside of the sleeve, in a generic dust sleeve. Do not keep it in the printed inner because it will destroy that also. 2 outer sleeves, you're good to go. Okay? That's all I wanted to talk about for today. Listen to Rocky Votolato. Listen to Press Club. Go back and listen to Sleeper if you want to. Oh, listen to Ghostmarket. Brett, the guy who turned me on to Press Club. His new band Ghostmarket. Check out their Bandcamp. I'll put that in the link. Awesome stuff. And yeah, listen to cool music and ship records. It's a lot of fun. All right. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.